All right, so if any of you actually have black money, you need to realize that if you are going to be depositing it, you are going to be facing some sort of a penalty. Banks are going to be reporting deposits above a certain amount during these 50 days. Unaccounted money above 10 lakh rupees will be inviting tax plus 200% penalty. Also, anybody buying jewelry has to give his PAN card, his or her PAN card number. Do remember that. Instructions also being issued to field authorities to check with all jewelers, and jewelers who do not record PAN numbers for sales will be facing very strict action. The centre is going to be getting reports of all cash collected during the period of 10th November to 30th of December 2016 above that threshold, and that really is how they will be figuring out where the black money is going. Well, a range of experts joining us to tell us what they think about, now that I've had some time to digest this specific step. MK Venu is joining us, one of the top financial thinkers that we have. Arvind Gupta is joining up. I've been very closely associated with the BJP. By the way, also one of the people who's been correctly predicting Trump's victory. So, you can stick your neck out and tell us exactly what's going to happen with this particular ban. Closely associated with the BJP. And Abhay Aimaz is joining us as well. And Randeep Surjewala is going to be coming in to tell us what the opposition makes of all of this. Arvind, can I just start off with you, because the lingering criticism that we are continuing to hear in this entire 24 hours, and that's something which we're still not being able to get our head together. 9 o'clock news yesterday, I was asking the same question. I still don't have a clear answer. I completely get how this is going to eradicate. This is a surgical strike on existing stocks of black money. Somebody who's got it is going to be burning it, is going to be trying to do something with it. It's gone. But from tomorrow or from day after, once the new notes come, black money generation can begin again. You can again start to have a cash economy. Well, unless, of course, people move entirely. They say we don't trust currency that much anymore, so we're going to either be paying you in gold coins or, using
Bitcoins and digital, right?
But, or doing the Paytm, free charge, credit card sort of a route.
So two things, Vikram. Number one, I think this is not a ban. This is a demonetization. It's a very clear definition. You have to now go and give this money back to the bank accounts if you have legal and accounted money, and you can get exchange for it. And there's a scheme in the first 15 days, how much can you withdraw and what can you do with it. And
so it's one-time demonetization. You're pretty much blowing up something like 80% of the existing supply.
By 85%, yes.
85% of the existing supply.
Yeah, and it all will get replaced, right, over due course of time. And many things that will happen is that any untendered money that RBI finds, people burn, for example, they're actually helping, by the way. They're burning, but that is the untendered money that RBI will have now to give back to government as a dividend. So we have to understand the long-term consequences of this. So
even when it happened last time, it's been said it wasn't a complete success, but you had something like 10 to 15% of money supply just going.
1978 you're talking about?
Yes.
See, 1978, the situation in 1978, even though the only similarity is that before that there was a big Congress regime, and today also there was a big Congress regime, and that's the big similarity, but the schemes are very different. That was 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 rupee notes, and
at that time that was worth a lot more.
A lot more money. You could buy a house for that much. But why this is holistic is you in your clipping you said digital economy, accounting, the silos that existed in the government systems are going to be broken. So it's not so easy for black marketers, to answer your question, to just now, people who hoard black money are not going to be able to just go tomorrow to a bank account without KYC.
But that's new. Randeep Surjewala, the point that Mr. Chidambaram and the Congress party has been making it, what happens to subsequent black money generation? We get existing black money is gone, and that's a great
where the
step.
accounting happens.
So I'm just trying to understand what the Congress party's point on this is, on this issue. Why is it that you've criticized certain aspects of this entire move?
Vikram, the issue is rather simple. Let's not complicate it. Any attempt that is made in a planned manner, in a matter of a mature policy to attack black money generation and hoarding is welcome. However, what has the government done? And let's try and understand it. 500 and 1000 rupees notes have been withdrawn. In place thereof, 500 and 2000 rupees have been replaced. Prime Minister says that the black money hoarders, they keep their money in the denomination of higher amount rupee, that is 1000 to 500. when you reintroduce 500,000 and 2,000 rupees, you are actually facilitating black money holders to keep more money in less space.
How do
so
they
how
get
does
it?
it help? That logic
See,
is
they will
ununderstandable.
get it
Number
the same way that they
two,
were getting it till now.
No, see, that is where
there
the problem is.
There is another issue, Vikram, that I want to point out,
See,
which
this
is
is
much bigger.
Okay.
No, but Vikram, there is another issue.
Can I just get the others to weigh in?
There
I'm
is
somewhat
a
nervous.
large-
Hillary Clinton might start speaking, and I want to make sure everyone's had their word before she actually starts. And
See, I think we are missing the
Venu, just come in and weigh in on what both of them have said, then I'll return to them.
I'm precisely talking about the question that you raised.
I
How
just
do you-
want
how do
to
you
say
stop
one
a
line
few-
more, and I think
Yes.
it'll help us in concluding this discussion.
Yes, Randeep.
Can I-
What's your one line?
All I wanted to say was there is a large amount of economy in this country that is unorganized economy. It's not illegal economy. The farm sector, which is not taxable, the sabji wala, the vendor, the carpenter, the plumber, the shopkeeper, the trader, the housewife.
But they can all use
You
the-
have suddenly put them, they don't necessarily have access to a banking system.
Why not?
You have suddenly put them at the risk of going to a bank, and if bank does not honor and return their money, what do they do today?
No, but that's
a question
that's
that
fear mongering.
Modi ji or his government
I
has
respond to
not
that?
been
Yes.
able to
But
answer.
why would the bank not accept
No,
it?
exactly. That's fear mongering. Now, today, with the JDY scheme, the Jandhan Yojana and eKYC that exist, you can open, outside the NDTV studio, there is a big hoarding that says open a bank account in 4 minutes. So, if I don't have a bank
Can I
account,
just get
please
the
open
others
it.
in?
No,
Arvind, Randeep, before I come back to you, just
want
weigh in on this.
I want to come to the point that you raised, Vikram, future generation. Now, I will believe that this is truly transformational if in the next few elections, UP, Punjab and general election, the big parties do not get sacks of 2,000 rupee notes, the new ones. That's one of the structural issues, the way elections are funded. The big guys, the big businesses, they still generate cash. They'll generate those 2,000 rupee notes and they'll come into the system.
So how do you prevent
how do you deal with that?
future generation is really the question
Now,
that I
another
think all
one,
of us-
one small point, Vikram. There's a black money stock. There's an NIPFP report on black money with Mr. Jaitley, which says about 45 to 50% is the stock. 45 to 50% is about $1 trillion. This is only, cash is only a small part of the stock. There's a huge stock of gold, there's a huge stock of real estate. That is still there. So structurally, we have not solved that problem.
No, and those are the next steps. I mean, there is.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see what happens in the other steps. Abhay, I might just come in and weigh in on this entire, has this been a decisive blow against black money? But before you answer that, actually, you might also help us solve the mystery of the markets and how the markets have been reacting both to cash and to Donald Trump.
No, see, Vikram, markets have reacted as on the international side as the international markets have reacted, and after seeing, let's not read too much into what Donald Trump had to say during his electioneering campaign. Those are rhetorics which every politician uses. So I guess even the U.S. market is not reacting as negatively. Clearly, it's decisions can be made given his majority. And what you get to hear from the media is what you heard about Prime Minister Modi also before he was elected. So that needs to be ignored. As far as the 500 and the 1000 move goes, I mean, it's a brilliant move, and I'm surprised. I can understand Mr. Surjewala making statements that he's making, probably not very conversant with the economics of it. Like yesterday he spoke about some P-notes being introduced. I don't know how, by what logic he was, it was baffling to any person who knows a little bit about economics. Today he's talking about what happened to, the fact is that yes, it is not eliminating black money, but what is in existence is going to stop as of today. From tomorrow you may start regenerating it, that's another problem. But at least appreciate what is happening today. There's about 16.8 lakh crore, in circulation, cash in circulation. Out of that, 85% is 500 rupee and 1000 rupee notes. Assuming 50% of it is in the banking system, assuming that 25% of the 50% is not accounted for, you're still talking of 1.5 to 2 lakh crore coming net surplus into the RBI or into the country, and that currency, the IOU getting, so
2
this
lakh,
simple
hang on.
thing, at least, even if you're in the opposition.
Let me just
please
get that data correct.
40 lakh
You're saying forget about future generation of black money and set that aside for a moment. You're saying that it's a huge amount of money, 2 lakh. Is that the number which you're saying that the RBI is suddenly going to gain by 2 lakh crore rupees?
See, this is
But that's pretty much enough to pay for all the Rafales and maybe a few aircraft carriers also. Abe?
Vikram, may I say that's the fallacy
Yeah, sorry.
that we are living in.
Yeah, okay, Randeep, finish your point, then I'll come back to Abe. I don't think he was being able to
The
hear me.
self-styled economists who have no idea, the self-styled economists who have no idea as to how India lives, as to how India thrives, as to who governs India, and as to how India's economy is run on the ground, do say so sitting on television studios. But they do not realize as to how a rediwala, a patriwala, a carpenter, a plumber, an ordinary person, a small shopkeeper who does not have access to banking system like you and me, how does he make his ends meet?
But I'm just
and
trying
when
to
he goes
understand, Randeep,
tomorrow
what the point
and,
is. Why
and
does
puts
that
that
person-
money on the counter, it is
Randeep,
important
Randeep,
that
hang on,
government
I
is
just
able
don't
to
get
I'm
order
it.
just
that.
trying to understand. I'm trying to understand why is it so. The rediwala and all the people you're describing have a short-term problem of depositing any 500 rupee note and 1,000 rupee notes that they have. May not be that large. Maybe they'll have
No, but
10,000,
that also is not a
20,000,
problem.
30,000 rupees and 500 rupees or 1,000 rupee notes. They can go and exchange them.
So
But
it's a-
once that is done, how is it affecting their day-to-day livelihood?
what-
No, can I make a point here, please, Vikram? I've listened to this. There are two things. First, if they
Vikram,
don't have a
what
bank
we
account,
need
they
to
can open a bank
understand.
account. Two,
Let
let
me
me
very
Arvind,
simple
I'll get
point
Arvind, then
is-
you can reply to both of us simultaneously. Yes, Arvind.
Number one, if they don't have a bank account, they can go.
40% of this country still does not have a bank account.
Sir, I think those facts are wrong. The JDY scheme is out there. You can open a bank account in 4
Post
minutes today.
office.
So, second thing is, who's stopping you from opening a bank account? Second thing is,
We started it, sir, so we know the facts.
no. So, let me debate that. The second thing is, if you can still go, I mean, and exchange 4,000 rupees, just give an ID proof. That's out there in any post office, anywhere else, you can exchange 4,000 rupees. So,
Correct.
it doesn't have an impact. And
Actually-
any small trader, vendor, rediwala, anybody else.
Okay, so actually these two arguments are flip sides of the same one. So, Frank, can I just come back to it? What Randeep essentially is saying is that, what happens to the future cash economy, and that actually is the criticism that I was starting by saying it doesn't actually prevent a future cash economy, because later, the rediwala, so I will hear the point out here. In counter to what Randeep says, yes, that rediwala or that small trader, whoever it is, can continue to get money in cash and continue to use 500 rupee notes or 2,000 rupee notes or 1,000 rupee notes. In the future, the cash economy is alive and well. Which brings me therefore to the criticism that I was making, or question that I was asking, which is that the flip side of that Venu is that cash economy can still continue. If the rediwala can accept 500 rupee notes and 2,000 rupee notes, the person accepting black money can do the same.
How will they generate that?
Actually, Vikram,
However, the black money is generated
No,
today.
so a whole new cycle has to start for
Yes,
them.
you are right. A whole new cycle of
has
black
to start
money
with them,
generation has
and
to start.
systems are being put
There
in
you're
place.
correct.
No,
There you're correct. A whole
systems-
new
see,
system
Vikram,
has to
I
start.
want to make a
Systems are being put in place to keep all tax.
That's what I want to know. How?
The plumbing is in place. I've always said this. Now with the Jandan, Aadhaar, mobile, the seeding of databases and working of technology with interlinking of different databases, that's what has happened. When I said this, there is a lot of action and plan that has gone into this. It's not without a basis that the Prime Minister did it both from a
So,
procedure and legal.
Let me ask you this question. Now that, if that is put into place, it starts to make some sense that your existing stock of black money is purged from the system, and then going
It's far from it
forward
at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the hypothesis, that your existing stock of black money in terms of cash is purged from the system, and then going forward, as these new high denomination currency notes are introduced, some checks and balances are put into place, and we have to still understand how it will work to make sure that new black money is not generated at the same rate as was happening earlier. Abe, do you have any thoughts on how that could be done more effectively?
See, Vikram, it's not an assumption. The fact is that 500 and 1000 rupee notes cease to be a legal tender as of yesterday. So that is a fact that is given. Yes, your point that it is going to regenerate when 2000 rupee notes come, I accept that. Also the fact that how, to what extent it can be checked may be debatable. But just look at it, look at the fact a move like this, even if it stops 10% of what the current system of regenerating black money is, from the fear of what has happened and the fact that such actions can be taken, and they can be taken so well organized and so silently without the whole world knowing about it or anyone knowing about it, I think is going to put a lot of deterrent in people's mind. That itself is a big gainer. So one is not saying that, from tomorrow it's going to be hunky-dory and this is going to be but it's much better than what was yesterday. Please appreciate that.
Okay, by the way, look at those pictures. People with black money.
It's better than doing nothing at all.
Vikram,
Look at the guys. Randeep, before I come back to you, I took a look at that video. Those are burnt 500 rupee and 1000 rupee notes. Now, guys, stop burning your black money. It's adding to pollution. Look at the condition out there in northern India. Why are you burning black money?
I want to make a
some way at least they are helping.
I want to make a small point.
It's adding to pollution.
Yeah, that is the
Why don't you
negative side.
shred the black money and use it for razai linings or something?
We can run a contest on what is the best.
I actually have. I started a contest and I've been asking people on social media saying what should they do with their black money.
See,
Paying
but
hospital
Vikram,
bills is the top
one
suggestion.
point I want to make, since he spoke about Jan Dhan Yojana.
Look at that fire. Have you ever seen a bonfire of 500 and 1000 rupee notes? Just take a look at that picture. Okay, sorry.
No, the point I'm making, Vikram, is that under Jan Dhan Yojana, 22 crore plus accounts were opened. By the Finance Ministry's own survey, about 15% or thereabouts is actually, they are the active accounts, by definition, one transacting 45 days. So the point is, the banking culture, to that extent, Surjewala is that banking culture is not seeped in yet.
Yeah, it has to seep in.
So there is a cash culture in the
No,
country.
but that is that.
But that has to be now.
No. So can I make a point?
So you have to move, and that
This is the people's movement that the Prime
It has
Minister
to
called
move
for.
into-
This is the people's movement that the Prime Minister called for. That you have to make it a people's movement, and I think 95% of people are on board. There will be distractors, there will be rumor mongers, there will be people with ignorance, and
Okay,
I think we all have to solve the problem. And the
Randeep,
government has been very proactive about it.
Okay, last quick line from you, Randeep, and then I have to wrap it there for the moment.
The simple issue is, black money is not a stock, it's a flow. Black money is stored by the big black money holders in securities, in bullions, in property and in other things. It is not kept in rajai lining as some of us believe it is so. So how do we check that? That's a challenge. And number
That is
two,
the next step, believe
Dr.
me.
Manmohan Singh did it in 2007. He withdrew 500 and 1000 rupees notes that were printed before 2005. So I don't know that whether this is a solution to
Randeep.
prevent black money when you are
not the
recirculating
same.
2000 rupee note.
All right,
And what
gentlemen, we're
about a
gonna have to leave it
parallel
there.
organized economy which is not an illegal economy but may not be a banking economy?
Okay, gentlemen, we're going to have to leave it there for the moment. Thank you all so much for joining us. I guess we continue to debate the precise impact of that particular ban on those high denomination notes.